Every time you visit a website, you're probably only seeing half the story. Seriously, today we're going to pull back the curtain on a really powerful technique that investigators and cybersecurity pros use to see the data that's hiding in plain sight. Let's dive in.
Just think about that for a second. Your browser loads tons of information for every single site you visit. But what you actually see on the screen, well, that's just a carefully selected fraction of what's really there. So the big question is, what are you missing?
And that brings us to what we call the hidden data layer. This is all the information that's already been sent to your computer. It's sitting right there in your browser, it's just not being displayed on the page.
And this is the absolute key. A lot of times developers will load data that never even makes it onto the final page, maybe to make things run faster or just to keep the interface looking clean. We're talking about stuff like unique identifiers, timestamps, full bios. It's all right there, just sitting beneath the surface.
Okay, let's make this real. On the left, you see a totally normal TikTok profile. But on the right, after using a simple tool, look what pops up: the user's unique, permanent ID and the exact date the account was created. Now, for an investigator, that user ID is gold. It's the piece of evidence they need to legally request more information from the platform.
So, how do we get to this hidden data? You might be thinking it's some kind of complex hacking software, right? Nope. It's actually something surprisingly simple, something that lives right in your browser's toolbar.
It's called a bookmarklet, and it's pretty much what it sounds like. It's a bookmark, but instead of saving a web address, it holds a tiny little snippet of JavaScript code. So when you click it, you don't go to a new page. Instead, it runs that code on the page you're already on to reveal or decode or pull out information. And the best part is they are so easy to use. There's no complicated installation. You just find a bookmarklet you trust, you literally drag it to your bookmarks bar, and that's it. You've just added a new tool to your arsenal. To use it, you just go to a web page and click your new bookmark. Simple as that.
All right, let's see some of these in action with a few powerful, real-world examples. This is where the magic really happens. We're going to look at 4 different scenarios where just one click can completely change what you see.
So here's something you see all the time when people search websites. They'll show you they have the info, but they blur it out, trying to get you to pay up. But here's the secret. A lot of the time, the unblurred text is already loaded on the page. It's just visually hidden. A deblurring bookmarklet just tells the browser, hey, stop blurring this. And boom, just like that, the information is right there.
Or what about this one? You're on a Facebook profile and the user has locked their profile picture. You can't click it, you can't make it bigger, but think about it. To show you even that tiny little circle, your browser had to download the image file. A bookmarklet can just grab the web address for that photo and open the full, high-resolution version directly in a new tab, completely bypassing that on-page restriction. Now, this is a great example of what investigators call pivoting. Let's say you find a private Instagram account, basically a dead end. But a lot of users have connected their Threads accounts, and those are often public. This bookmarklet just takes the Instagram username, finds the matching Threads profile, and all of a sudden, a lockdown account leads you to a public one that could be full of new information. And finally, check out this Telegram profile. See how the bio is cut off with the ... You know there's more there, but the app is hiding it. But again, the full text is already in your browser's memory. The bookmarklet just reaches in, grabs that complete bio, and shows it to you in a pop-up, revealing things like email addresses or websites that were hidden before. Okay, this is all incredibly powerful stuff, but with great power comes, a pretty big responsibility. Running code you find on the internet directly in your browser can be really risky if you're not careful. So, how do the professionals handle this safely?
This quote from Griffin Tyndall, an expert who actually uses these tools to find missing children, really says it all. You have to be cautious. Because a bookmarklet can see what's happening in your browser, a malicious one could try to steal your login info or other sensitive data. So you have to vet your tools.
So, the pros follow a pretty simple safety checklist. First, they vet the code. You can literally copy it into an AI like ChatGPT and ask it to explain what it does and if it's safe. Second, you isolate your environment. Run these tools inside a virtual machine or a cloud browser to keep anything bad contained. And third, you protect your identity. Never do this kind of work while logged into your personal accounts. Always use dedicated research accounts, often called sock puppets.
It's a professional cybersecurity concept called defense in depth. You create layers of protection. You protect yourself, the user, with those sock puppet accounts. You protect your computer system with virtual machines. And you can protect your network with things like VPNs. Using all these layers together, that's the professional standard for staying safe. So we've covered what bookmarklets are, how they work, and how to use them safely. Now we get to the most exciting part. You don't just have to be a user of these tools, you can actually be a creator. And this right here is a total game changer. For years, if you wanted to create a tool like this, you needed to know how to code. But that barrier, it's completely gone. If you can just describe what you want to do in plain English, you can now build a tool to do it. This quote from Griffin, the investigator we heard from earlier, just captures this shift perfectly. He's not a programmer, but now he can just tell an AI what he needs, say, a tool to automate some boring task, and it just generates the code for him. This lets him build a custom toolkit for himself right on the fly.
And look how simple the process is. First, you just give the AI a clear, simple prompt. The trick is to ask for the final JavaScript code on a single line. Then, the AI spits out the exact code you need. You just copy it, create a new bookmark, and paste that code where the URL would normally go. And that's it. You've just built your own custom tool in a matter of seconds.
So, you've shown you that the web has these hidden layers, and now we've basically handed you the key. The only question left is, what are you going to uncover?